Hey, and welcome to the channel in a very exciting episode, the first of a very exciting series where I'm going to show you how to turbo your MX5 on the cheap. So in this episode I'm going to go over everything I bought to install the kit. That includes the standalone ECU, boost controller, wideband, all the important stuff. So we are going to turbo it properly. Everything so far is just under 1,200 pounds, and I don't think there is much left needed to actually do the build. The only stuff you might need later is a radiator, but basically even with the extra bit, you know, let's say we have a budget of 1,500 pounds and we still have 300 quid worth of money to spend if we need it. Anyway, let me show you quickly what I bought, and then we'll go to the car and I'll explain you what's the plan. But basically every single part I'm going to do an episode about how you install your ECU, how you install your wideband, how you tune your ECU, how you do every little bit. And then I'm going to follow that with a series around engine shaving and basically getting your engine bay looking as good as a show car. So for our ECU, which as you can see is already installed, I went for a Speeduino based ECU. So that ECU altogether, if you want to buy all the sensor and you want an easy plug and play kit, right now it's at 434 pounds. I bought mine 3 years ago, so I actually paid 367 pounds for it. But if you want to, you know, it's just slightly less plug and play, but if you do have the skill, you can actually build your board, reduce the price further. For the variable TPS, if you've got an auto, or you can buy a cheap auto throttle body, you can buy that TPS instead of buying the one in the kit. Connectors, some of those connectors, like they nearly charge you 15 quid for a couple of cable and a couple of plug. You know, you can wire it yourself as well, so you know there is way to reduce the price of the ECU further. But you know, literally I think for around probably 250 quid you could build yourself an ECU and save some money further. But yeah, I've already installed it, done the video. I still need to do the tuning video. I was waiting to do the wideband video, which is also done, so you know it's going to come quickly, the content. You won't have to wait too long. But yeah, so now let's go have a look at that turbo. Alright, here is our turbo max speeding rod. To be fair to them, really impressed with the customer service. My order followed an email from them with instruction video. They replied to me straight away. 106 pounds I paid for brand new turbo and a kit as well. It comes with a gasket and a V-band clamp and this return all kit. Actually came as 2 parcels. Nothing special really, cheapest turbo you can get. V-band at the rear, integrated wastegate that is sort of like bolt-on, and here we go. Supposed to do the job, so we shall see. Intercooler kit, 215 pounds. I went for black, but yeah, as you can see, it basically got like couple of those pieces, couple of threads, some bits and bobs. The only stuff I had to bolt on top is this reducer that basically will go from the turbo to the tubing. So you know, if you can get intercooler kits that match your turbo, probably even better. You wouldn't need this, but that's the way I went. Set of RX8 injector, 45 quid I think. I put all the prices anyway that I paid for it, but yeah, new, do the job, give us more fuel. An electronic boost controller. Generally turbo eBay kits are not great with boost, so our ECU can actually handle an electronic boost controller, so we are going to do that. That's why I'm saying, you know, we could have done it cheaper if we didn't do things properly, but ECU control boost is going to be a lot better. Boring bit, but gasket for your exhaust, because you are obviously going to have to shove a manifold onto that, which brings me to this. So this is not the cheapest way you can do it. You can generally get cheap cast manifold, but the wish.com website did not want to take my address, so I went for this, which is basically just a kit to do your own manifolds, which obviously might not be the best. If you don't know how to weld or don't know anybody who can weld it for you, just order one of those cast one. I think literally like 50-60 quid you can get one. I could not find some on eBay at the time, but wish.com, stuff like that, will have some. So basically, to do a little log to do a turbo, and then we need a flange as well. Here we go, for the exhaust. So 15 quid, 15 quid, and 60 quid. Oh, and last but not least, this is actually for your PCV valve. So one stuff they often don't mention is when you boost your car, this is going to be more under pressure. On the old PCV valve on the car is actually plastic, so it doesn't work well. So what you can do is buy one from a Mazda 323, I think, which were boosted. This one is made out of metal, so we replace this, and then we don't have to worry about that. Alright, so you're thinking, well, that's not much. What about the exhaust? Well, the exhaust, actually, we don't technically need much, at least not on my car. Depending on your car, you might need a downpipe or something. After, what I'm going to do on mine, for the first instance, is not going to provide the best flow, but I'm not looking to push this hard anyway. If you can get a bit of boost and get it stable at even 150 brake horsepower, I'll be very happy, because this didn't used to be pokey at all anyway. But yeah, if you look basically in here, so that's the stock one. 4 that go into a collector that then join up to the main exhaust. I've already got the wideband sensor in here. So here the plan is, if we chop here and to ignore that, I'm going to remove the power steering. I will bring it back later as electric. I'll do a video about that, and I'll explain the reason why I'm removing it. Well, all of the reason, but the main reason I'm removing it for the turbo build is because obviously it's in the way of where you can locate your turbo. If you remove that, you can bring your turbo lower down, and you've got more room at the front. And then if you can locate your turbo properly, all you have to do is literally just a little connection between your stock exhaust and your turbo exhaust. So this is what I'm going to do on mine. And here we go, guys, that is the turbo kit we are going to set up on this MX5. So altogether, even if you include the little bit of metal I'm going to need for the exhaust, I'm basically 1,250 pounds in. And that actually include, I don't think I've mentioned it before, a license for Tuner Studio, because Pro, there is 2 licenses. That's the Pro one I've got, basically give you access to auto tune, which can obviously be of a great help to actually get your bass tune stable, especially if you don't have much experience with tuning. So, you know, it was $69, I think. So, you know, if you really want to do it on a budget, and you know what you're doing with the tuning, don't bother paying it, obviously, but otherwise I would recommend you get it. Anyway, like I said, again, if you want to go cheaper exhaust manifold, you can go cheaper on the speed we know by simply having a board you can fit into your old holder, or even get a board you solder yourself. So you basically get the basic board and you've got to solder the plug and all of that. What else? Obviously you can recycle part too. The turbo I've got might not be great, but what is nice is that it's a common turbo, so sometimes it's best to like buy a kit like that, buy cheap, put your cheap turbo, build your kit, and then when we've got our kit all nice and up running, what we can look and hunt on eBay, we just wait for the right one, a turbo that will fit straight in place, same flange and stuff like that, that actually come from a car that is maybe better designed, spun a bit earlier, etc, etc, and yeah, manufactured to probably better standard. Though I will say the Max Speed Rod Turbo looks pretty good. You know, if that work, I've spent 2,600 pounds on the turbo for my S3. It leaks oil because just the fitting were not manufactured. You would think pretty basic stuff, right? And yeah, you might have another boost issues, the actuator is already not happy, etc, etc. So who knows, maybe the 100 on something quid turbo will actually work well, you know. Money doesn't always buy you quality, unfortunately, but sometimes, from what I've heard with turbo, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you're not. I don't often get lucky, but we'll see if this time we do. Anyway guys, if you have any question about like kits and stuff like that, or you don't know what to select, put it down in the comment. If you've got any suggestion of anything else I might need for the kit, or any other suggestion really, or comment or ideas or whatever, you know, use the comment section. But yeah, I mean, it's not your first time on YouTube, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave you there. But anyway, exciting stuff though. At least I'm excited because you know, it's my car, so when it's turbo it'll be more fun. See you the next time, guys. Bye.